This is the most stressful. These are always the most stressful moments of my life.
Of your life?
Yeah, to sing these songs. You know, like what if this gets me noticed whenever I sing these songs? Yeah, ready?
What, noticed as a singer or what?
Yeah, what if I get noticed? And, you know, what if I don't know. What's it? Usher, the guy who he found Justin Bieber. So what if he finds me through these podcasts? This is the awesome Padron podcast.
There you go, buddy.
I will say it's a lot more quieter.
Yeah.
For listeners out there.
Yeah. So, my name is Marquez Padron.
Why are you talking like you're like for like a jazz
because
radio
Brittany,
station?
This is a very soothing podcast that we have. To my right, or probably to your left, is
unless
Brittany.
you're not even watching,
and to
they
my
could just be listening.
and to my well, yeah, depending on what you're doing. Brittany and Zach are here too.
What if they have no right arms or right?
Yeah,
what if they have
true.
no eyes?
Are you telling me people don't have a right or left if they don't have arms? Once they lose their arms, they have no concept of right and left.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah. How can they teach you without that making the L with their hands?
Look.
Yeah, how can they do that? I write with my right hand thing. You know? Yeah. What? I'm pretty. I wonder if I hurt anybody. I hope they don't offend too many people with that right there.
How many armless fans do we have?
Yeah. No. I don't know, but there might be one out there. Like, hey, I know my right from my left, you know? So hopefully, yeah. Anyways, guys, it's been a bit since we've been on here. I know we keep coming up with excuses, but we actually do have them. And they're good excuses. Stuff was happening a long time ago, like in our lives. Then our life got a little bit better because all those issues, that issue fell away from our lives. Yeah. And then I got sick and I got better. And then I got sick again a week later. Then I got better, and then I gave it to them too. Yeah. And they got it, and then Brittany got better after a little bit, but Zach got really bad.
Yeah. All last week I was horrible. Mostly like Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah. So he got worse than I did. Like he honestly sounded like I told him, he sounded like I would have been surprised if I looked over and I was just staring at a huge ball of mucus sitting on the couch.
I kept telling him to go to UNT.
Yeah,
the doctors.
Yeah. Which if you watch our like Parasite review on our Two Awesome Men channel, like you can kind of tell my voice is completely bad. Yeah, but that was able to be covered up because we don't have like super like close up microphones on our YouTube channel.
It like because the only thing that helped me was the medication that you got. Yeah. Like I was taking that, but it ran out by the time he got sick, so he was just laying there doing nothing.
and also had a really bad cough, which I still do kind of have a slight cough, but it's not nearly as bad as it was.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. So. Anyways, guys, a lot of stuff happened while we were gone. We're going to try to go over as much as we can. I don't know what Zach wants to start off with. He has the list of stuff that we talked about.
I have the list, but I guess we just go by the order of which I typed them.
Well, do you want to go with the latest news? Like the
Sonic new redesign? That's the newest news,
That's
I think.
The newest.
Well, besides the YouTube one,
news,
but I want to save that for close to the end.
Yeah, so the big news is we have Sonic the Hedgehog was redesigned. And we already knew this was going to happen, you know? Yeah. And it's really cool.
That first trailer.
Yeah.
That horrifying
it's
first
like
trailer.
Terrifying first trailer. You know? And a lot of people are excited about this. Me, myself, I'm not going to act like I'm a huge Sonic fan. But I am gonna say that I noticed how bad the first design was.
Well, we talked about it. And I actually didn't know that a lot of people didn't know what Uncanny Valley is. But I think you described it like basically like
it's when something tries to look human but it's not human.
And it's your mind telling you
those really advanced robots that you can kind of tell aren't human, so they look really creepy.
And so there's a level, there's actually like a whole like chart of like the more it looks human and it's not human, the more creepy it is. So like that's why like it's those technologies, those advanced technologies, or like if someone tries to CGI the Cats trailer, or someone tries to CGI human like Star Wars has done, or It Chapter 2, it just comes off as very kind of unsettling and kind of weird, but not like in the good way of like if you use it in a horror movie, it's not going to come like, oh, it's kind of scary. Right. Like, I like this, but it's like just weird. It's a bad, unsettling,
uncomfortable.
Yeah. And you know, it had been a long time since I saw that first Sonic, how he looked, and doing the comparisons from what he used to look like to now what he looks like. I don't know what person okayed that first design. Like, why was that ever released?
Which I wonder if they even still have the first trailer on YouTube, because I know their Instagram. I went to the the official Instagram for the movie, and like they deleted all their old posts, so they only have like 2 posts.
Well, there's no way you can get rid of it. Yeah, you can't get rid of that trailer.
Somebody has it downloaded somewhere.
You'll be able to find it out. Definitely. So that's the thing.
It's just they gave him like human teeth. Yeah. They made his eyes small, long, skinny legs. I just don't. I want to meet the people that were like, yeah, this is the Sonic we're going with.
And like a lot of people are saying, and myself, I still think the new trailer looked kind of bad. I didn't like any of the jokes in it. I thought it wasn't that good. I think Jim Carrey looks worse as a character than he did in the first one. To me, in my opinion, I just think it looks bad.
See, I was the opposite.
Yeah, I was kind of the opposite. I thought it looked better just overall. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like gonna be a good movie or anything.
Yeah, but I think any video game adaptation, especially Sonic. I mean, Sonic's just a hedgehog that runs around collecting rings. So to make a story, it was always gonna be kind of cheesy.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind cheesy. It just felt. I didn't find anything funny, and I found most of it cringy.
See, that's one thing that I found different with the second trailer is the first one, is I actually found stuff that was funny in the second one.
Really?
I didn't find any of the first one funny.
I found the trailer to be just about as good, other than the fact that it's a new design. And like a lot of people have been saying, I'm gonna see it, and definitely. Well, number one, I was gonna see it no matter what, because we have a YouTube channel we're gonna review. It's gonna be a big movie we need to review, but. Even if I didn't have this channel, I'd probably still see it, because it's the thing of I definitely believe if you're out there and you don't want to see it, I do recommend you see it, or at least buy tickets, because I think it's good to support what they did, to support this company that listened to its fans.
Yeah, which just talking about movies that you need to go see real quick.
Oh yeah,
that's a weird noise my throat made. But talking about movies that you need to go see because not making that much money is Dr. Sleep. I mean, we can talk about Dr. Sleep later, but that is one thing.
I mean, if y'all don't have anything else to talk about Sonic, y'all.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have anything.
Yeah, I mean that's all we had to say about Sonic.
Just
but
go see Sonic. Yeah, support.
Yeah, but go see Dr. Sleep also for support, because
it is bombing hard.
Yeah, it is bombing. And what's weird is it's not like a bombing of like a John Carter bomb. It's like a bombing of every review I see from it is people liking it.
Yeah, people loving it.
People love it, but it's just not making any money. And it's not like I'm saying it's kind of making, it's not making as much money as it should. No, it's bombing.
Yeah, I think the first weekend I think it only made 14 million or something.
I think it's 12 or 14.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really low.
I think it's modern day horror fans that are ruining actually good horror movies, because I feel like the trailer wasn't your typical horror movie trailer. It wasn't things popping out. It wasn't somebody walking around the corner and something it's just insane that it was more. It showed that it was more slow building, not like The Witch. Yeah, that was way slow building, but and I feel like that's why people aren't going to see it, because they're like, oh, well, it's just going to be a boring story of a guy that has the shine, and and people just don't get that it's an actually good horror movie.
Yeah, and don't go in there saying oh, it better be as good as The Shining, because you're an idiot and you're you're setting it up for failure.
Right.
Yeah. The movie is not as good as The Shining. Nothing will ever be, in my opinion. I think that The Shining is the best horror movie of all time. And it's one of the best movies in general of all time.
Right.
And so it's not as good as The Shining, but it is a good sequel to The Shining.
Yeah,
and it is. Yeah, it's like a movie of you're watching and you're like, it's not just a good sequel. It's not just a good movie that came after The Shining. It's a good addition to the story, to Danny's story of The Shining. Because it really, you watch, you're like, okay, I kind of actually wanted this. This is really nice.
Yeah. And it's famous that Stephen King. Sorry, I was going to call him Stephen Hawking. Stephen King does not like Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
Yeah.
And I feel like
he made his own though. Yeah.
Yeah, he made his own. But
like
but
17 years later.
what was the director's name for Dr. Sleep?
Oh, Mike Flanagan.
Yeah, Mike Flanagan had a really hard task on his hand to convince Stephen King to let him adapt his story, but know that it was going to have to be a sequel to Stanley Kubrick's, because that's what everybody knows, that's what everybody loves. And I feel like he did a good job pleasing Stanley Kubrick's fan and pleasing Stephen King.
Well, Stephen King liked it.
Yeah.
Stephen King liked it a lot. Yeah. So
and just going back to it bombing, like Chris Edman made a good point in his review over it, that like I really do respect them that they, in the title, they just had the title be Dr. Sleep. They didn't do like The Shining Part 2 or The Shining in the colon Dr. Sleep. They just said Dr. Sleep to not like try to like draw in the Shining fans. But I feel like that did kind of hurt it too. Especially for people who like haven't seen the trailer or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't realize that it's the sequel to The Shining, which is sad because it's a dumb reason why it would bomb. But
it was what's terrible is like all these other movies, like you pretty much brought up, all these other terrible horror movies, like The Nun. Like how much did The Nun make? Do you know? Like
his first.
I know they didn't talk about it bombing.
Yeah, exactly. The Nun was completely like terrible, and like
we didn't see La Llorona, but I heard that one was actually really bad too.
The Nun made $365.6 million. And that movie was complete trash.
Yeah, and then I saw a lot of comments when it was an article talking about Dr. Sleep bombing, and people were like, well, it's because they didn't capitalize on bringing it out in October. That's why. It's a horror movie. It should have came out in October. Horror movies don't have to come out in October.
And a lot of times, like some of the movies that make a lot of money don't even come out on Halloween.
Yeah. Like usually your October horror movies typically are like your cash grab. You know it's going to be a whole bunch of jump scares. You're just putting it out because you know somebody wants to go see a scary movie. They're going to pick that movie. Yeah. And it's going to be stupid. Like, what's the Countdown that came out? That came out right before Halloween.
Right. Yeah.
So.
What were you saying?
I was going to say, so like not all good horror movies come out in October.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of the things they did were very respectable, but it's also might be what made it lose money. And like the Halloween thing, it did a good thing of not trying to capitalize on the Halloween spirit or whatever, but it came out a week afterwards whenever people weren't looking for it. You know, I guess maybe, and I guess that's it. But I really want, I don't know how many people want to watch this, but if you haven't seen Dr. Sleep, go pay for it. It needs money because this right here is the kind of horror movie we need to support, not stuff like The Nun or something like that, or any of those Conjuring series movies. Like
we've talked about, Midsummer and The Witch. Those are very specific movies that you have to kind of like those kind of movies to really like we've talked about. If somebody came up to us and said, you know, we didn't like Midsummer, we didn't like The Witch, I could understand. It's a slow building horror movie. Yeah, especially Midsummer. Yeah. The Witch I think is a not nearly as slow building as the Midsummer because The Witch does actually have some things that happen throughout it. Yeah. But Dr. Sleep the whole time is so tension building. And I talked about this with y'all after the movie. It's because they had like the soundtrack or the sound mixing, like they had like this heartbeat thumping throughout. Like even in like when two characters were just talking, it was in the background. So the whole time, it felt like your heartbeat was pumping at the same time that this heartbeat sound was pumping. And it just built so much tension the whole time. Yeah. It's so sad because I feel like Hollywood's going to look at this like, well, didn't have any jump scares. That's why it didn't make a lot of money. You know, no, that's not why it didn't make a lot of money. Yeah, and it just didn't make a lot of money. I saw an article like today. I haven't fact checked it, so I don't know if it's true, but I can't imagine that's not true. But yeah, I saw an article talking about how they're going to make an Insidious 5. Yeah. Why? The last one was pretty awful. The last one was pretty bad. Yeah. I want to say it was awful, but it was pretty bad.
I've liked the first two. Well, really the first three Insidious movies, but they were kind of slowly declining in quality.
The first two were about even in quality, and then the third one started to had declining. It was good, but it was declining. But then the fourth one was like, oh goodness,
and now we're just gonna get a whole bunch of those types of movies.
Yeah, and then we get the whole Conjuring universe, which I'm so done with.
I'm tired of horror movie universes in general.
Yeah.
I really don't understand the point of them. Mm-hmm. You know, they do try to. They never really. And other than like the Annabelle movies, they're never really in the same story. It's just like a new movie with the same name. Yeah. You know, they're never, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's usually what they are.
And like the La Llorona, how it was in The Conjuring, but that story has nothing to do.
Same with The Nun.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with it except at the very end of the movie, they had a guy
they could have had it connected like really easily.
Yeah, they could have had the connection with the main girl who looked a lot like Vera Farmiga, and it was her younger sister, and wasn't her. And it could have been connected. Amazing. The movie would have still sucked. Yeah. But
it could have had a connection to the
and
they're
picture. They're like, oh no, what actually happened was, you remember that little film that they showed at the beginning of the class at the beginning of the first Conjuring? Well, the guy was actually the young guy in this movie. Except when you watch the movie, it's not even the same dude. Yeah. It's in The Nun, they replaced him with like some young guy. But if you watch the whole Conjuring, he's like an older man. It's like it's like it also, that's like a thing of like treating us like we're complete idiots. Like we're not gonna like, oh, well, I'm not gonna watch The Conjuring. I forgot about that scene all. You know, it's not even the same guy.
Like, you know, because I feel like Marvel's the best at a universe building. I think they're probably one of the only ones that have been good at it.
Yeah. First of all, let's say this. We're not Marvel fanboys. We understand that not all of them are fantastic. Or maybe there are some bad ones, but they're a good universe.
But they all connect.
Yeah.
You have to watch them in order to understand any of it. You could watch any of the Conjuring movies besides Conjuring 1 and Conjuring 2.
Well, not really. They're not really even connected either.
Yeah. But you can watch any of the Conjuring movies and not have to know anything about the other ones.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the first two are good. Don't get us wrong. The first two are actually really good, but they don't connect. And it's like, those are the only two is like, okay, that's good. But like the other ones, and I'm not going to act like the other ones were trash. The last two Annabelle movies were actually, the second Annabelle movie is actually pretty decent. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to act like that was great, but it was good. Right. Then the last one was surprisingly good. Mm-hmm. That one was not as good as the second one, but it was like, I watched it and it was pretty good. Like it was surprisingly good.
Right.
You know, so I mean, that's what it is about those. And I just wish this movie got more support, because it really, Dr. Sleep really needs more support so Hollywood could see, hey, these jump scares, not having jump scares or having as little as possible. Because I'm not one of those guys who is completely against jump scares. I can't stand when people are completely against jump scares. I think you can make a horror movie with no jump scares. The Shining did it and be just fine. Yeah. You know, but I think jump scares can be done effectively, but you never can do a jump scare effectively if that's all you have throughout the movie. Yeah.
Like the jump scare that was in Dr. Sleep, I think he was walking through the hallways and then like a sound was made. Like,
it was a light.
The light came on.
Yeah, the light came on. And it wasn't like normal jump scares where the light came on, a loud sound really fast.
Yeah, it was just the light.
Yeah.
It was just the sound of the light.
You screamed and it was funny.
I didn't scream, but I jumped. I was like, oh God.
Yeah. And it was like great because the whole time you're like, you're Danny walking through this hallway when he's going back to the.
Exactly. It's tension, you know? Yeah. And like throughout the whole movie, there's no jump scare. Sure, you're not expecting one. But plus, that's like a thing of like, if I was walking through that building and a light just like made like a noise and turned on, it would scare me too, because that's a lot of tension.
Especially like where he was at.
Yeah, where he was at, and like the fact that those things in the building are going to try to attack him. Yeah, because that's what the point of the thing is. Right. You know? So I mean, it's really good. Go see it, please. I'm probably gonna make a Facebook post about seeing it.
When I think about jump scares, I think about. We didn't see it, but that new 47 meters down Uncaged, when Chris Tuckman said that in the movie there was an actual jump scare where a fish screamed.
Yeah,
I really want to see that.
And I feel like that's where we're coming with. That's where we have come as modern horror jump scares is that we actually have a fish screaming as a jump scare.
And like I said, I'm not against jump scares. I'm against only using jump scares.
Mm-hmm.
I think a movie can be creepy and then have a jump scare here and there, and it'll work if it's done effectively.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if it's only a jump scare that would actually be a jump scare, not like someone like, hey, what's up, guy? Or like touches your shoulder and the jump scare. None of that
I
stuff.
hate the ones where like they they turn around or something and like something's right there and it's like boom.
Oh yeah.
It's like, okay, that's not actually what happens when you turn around. Like you're still gonna get scared because you don't expect somebody to be behind you, but that loud noise isn't gonna be there.
I love jump scares where the jump scare is only the sound of what's making the jump scare.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else. Like a lot of times in movies, the jump scare they'll actually make like a sound in post to make it more jumpy, I guess.
Yeah.
But
jumpy. Yeah. Well, we were just talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So aren't you all happy that we get to see all the Marvel Cinematic Universes all on one app?
Almost.
Almost. Okay. Not the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, but that's never going to happen. It's understandable. That's not going to happen. But it's sad. But yeah. But yeah, Disney Plus came out. Is what I'm
Disney
trying to
Plus.
say.
Disney Plus. If you haven't gotten it, I would recommend it, but I would recommend you do it now because if you're interested, they have a nice little thing where you can. It sounds like I'm about to do like a sponsorship.
Yeah, no, right?
We're getting paid by Disney. God, no,
nice.
we're not getting paid, unfortunately. But
I would love that Disney money.
Yeah,
they have the money to pay a whole bunch of like small YouTubers.
Yeah, exactly. If you're out there, Disney, and you hear me what I'm about to say, I'm open. I'm open to the option of sponsorship.
Also, you should go and watch their Lion King remake. And hire some animators here.
Yeah. Well, no, our Lion King remake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
No, their Lion King video.
I couldn't be paid enough to tell people to go see the Lion King remake.
If you go on our YouTube channel, Too Awesome Man, we redid the beginning of the Lion King. Yeah. It's pretty good. I liked it a lot. So you can check that out. Maybe I'll put a link in the description or something like that.
Use our Chihuahua as Simba.
But anyways, what were you saying?
But yeah, there's a cool little deal that I actually signed up for. It's Hulu. So Hulu Plus, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus for $12.99, I believe. A month. $12.99 a month. That's like
I thought you said a week.
A week.
$12.99
a week.
I had somebody ask me that. What is ESPN Plus? Like, why is it Plus?
I've looked it up. I mean, I was hoping that it would let you watch like a whole bunch of like NBA games that aren't like our other teams that aren't nationally televised, but it's pretty much just like a like you get to watch like different things. It's like an ESPN3 kind of. I haven't researched it too much, but that's pretty much all I found about it, which is still kind of cool, I guess, if you're into like different sports that you don't get to see normally on ESPN. But I'm usually only interested in basketball, so it doesn't really help me out that much.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're interested in that, plus
does it have like dodgeball? Like the movie Dodgeball.
It might. I mean,
I'm sorry, Mark
hasn't
seen that movie because
Dodgeball. I'm sorry,
he's so uncultured.
You wouldn't get the reference that they played dodgeball in the movie Dodgeball.
But if you're interested, really, just like 2 of the apps is worth it because we don't really use ESPN Plus right now, but just 2 of the apps is worth it because both apps are like. I think Hulu's like $8. Disney Plus is like $6 or $7. $7. So I mean,
and it's really easy too because you just had to go into Disney Plus, log in with the same email that you use for Hulu.
Yeah, that's a big thing. If you log in, if you have Hulu already, then if you sign up for Disney, make sure you use the same. Well, if you sign up for they have the deal right now. You can go on DisneyPlus.com and find it. Just make sure you sign up with the same email you used for your Hulu Plus account.
Yeah, so you don't get charged twice.
Again, we're not getting sponsored for that. Okay, I guess it's obvious. I'm pretty sure you're not looking at our 17 subscribers. Like, oh man, these 17, they must be getting sponsored by Disney, getting paid a ton. But no, it's actually worth it because
you get like some. I didn't realize like how much you're gonna get with that.
Well, just a day one, man.
Yeah, like they have freaking and all the old Disney Channel shows. Yeah, they have like That's a Raven, Lizzie McGuire, Even Stevens.
Yeah, they
the
have
Proud Family,
all the movies that are in the vault.
Kim Possible. Yeah, all the anime movies are in the vault. Yeah. All the classic anime movies. All the Pixar movies.
Yeah,
all the Pixar short movies. So like you get it and you get all the Star Wars movies. Yeah, every Simpsons episode.
it was such nostalgia, man.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah. Even though technically The Simpsons is kind of they kind of ruined it because like the episodes that were before like HD TVs, like they have them like cropped because they like stretched it out to where it would fit HD TVs now.
Yeah.
But they stretch it in a way to where like a lot of it is cropped out on the sides, which kind of sucks. But it's still every episode on there.
Yeah, exactly. And then they have
all the Disney Channel original movies.
Yeah, and then the old Spider-Man shows.
Yeah, all the animated Spider-Man shows,
except for the MTV one.
Yeah, which wasn't that one a little bit more adult?
Yeah, it is.
So that's probably why.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe MTV.
You're not going to get rated R movies. So Deadpool and Logan will never be on Disney.
But they'll be on Hulu.
But they'll be on Hulu because they're going to put all of their adult shows, because now that they own FX, they're going to put all of those adult shows on Hulu. So like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Bob's Burgers, all those are going on. More.
Can you imagine It's Always Sunny on Disney Plus?
I know. Which that's crazy that they put The Simpsons on there, not like Bob's Burgers, because I feel like
The Simpsons seems a little more adult.
Yeah.
Which by the way, if you didn't realize, Disney bought Fox earlier this year. That's why The Simpsons and Bob's Burgers are
also
Disney
you know
characters.
what's weird?
What?
Is Toy Story 4 on Blu-ray yet?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure because it's not on Disney Plus yet. So I was trying to figure out if it's on Blu-ray yet.
Oh no, to be honest.
Well, I guess the next thing there is, they released a trailer. There is 2 trailers this week. Was it?
Yeah, they're both this week.
Yeah, and so one of the first trailers. Well, the first trailer I want to talk about is a movie called Scoob. Scoob. It's a Scooby-Doo. It's a Scooby-Doo animated movie.
Yeah, and it looks like more like an origin.
Yeah, yeah. And
well, it doesn't really look like origin movie, but it looks like they're gonna touch on the origins.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to say this. It's so stupid. It doesn't look that good. And I don't know why they didn't just bring back Matthew Lillard to
I don't know why they didn't bring
Shaggy.
back all of the live action actors.
Yeah, but most importantly, Matthew Lillard, because Matthew Lillard sounds almost exactly
like
Shaggy.
honestly, I don't really care too much about the voices of the other characters. The other characters have somewhat distinct voice, but it's not like the live action Scooby-Doo movies got all their voices right. The only one they got perfectly right, and because it was Shaggy, and Shaggy's the only one that has that distinct voice that you need for a Scooby-Doo movie.
Right,
and it's Matthew Lillard somehow was just the most perfect he to me he is like in the top of I don't know the list, maybe not the very top, but like he's in that top of list of some of the best casting choices of all time. Right, Matthew Lillard on Scooby-Doo. Yeah, because he's absolutely perfect for Shaggy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and who's playing Shaggy? Is it Will Forte?
Will Forte, yeah, from
SNL. He's just too high pitched.
Which I wouldn't completely be mad about them not recasting Matthew Lillard, but at least cast someone who can do a good job.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Will Forte doesn't sound anything like Shaggy in the trailer
at all.
Yeah,
yeah. When you I wouldn't have known. Like if it would have just been like me listening to the trailer rather than watching it, I would have probably never known that was supposed to be Shaggy.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I wonder if I can find it on here and put y'all keep talking. I mean, I wonder if I can find it on here and
and also aren't they like gonna? It's just kind of weird, like because aren't they bringing like aliens and all that? And there's aliens on the trailer.
Yeah, based on the trailer, I don't know. I feel like
it's the first trailer, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I don't know too much about it. I can't judge it too harshly.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, I'm not like super excited about it. Yeah. Unfortunately.
They just needed to make a Scooby-Doo.
This is the voice.
Fruit beer with red licorice straw? Right here. Maybe it's time we made our new movie. Good idea, Scoob. But first we need a trailer. Oh, can you do the trailer guy voice? Well, let me give it a shot.
Who does he remind me of?
I don't know.
His voice reminds me of something.
Sounds nothing like him. Sounds nothing like Shaggy. Sounds nothing like Shaggy.
It's gonna drive me crazy. Like who he sounds.
He doesn't even have like. Because it's a known fact. Shaggy always has like that somebody who's high all the time, a stoner, and he doesn't even have a stoner voice.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really messed up casting for it. Yeah. Like I said,
Zac Efron's gonna play Fred.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really mind any of the casting choices because the other casting choices don't have such distinct voices that you have to get them right. Mm-hmm. But Shaggy, you have to get right. Like you have to get right,
especially since he's like the main one.
Yeah, exactly.
Him and Scooby are the main ones.
You have to get it right, otherwise it's not going to work out. So I don't know. Yeah, it has to do with aliens. I think Scooby-Doo and Shaggy get captured by aliens or something like that.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
which that's not what Scooby-Doo is all about.
Yeah, it's not what Scooby-Doo's about, and it's just like a thing of like, oh, let's make a movie. We're gonna do aliens. Okay, there, that's it. Go.
We gotta take it up a notch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what else are we gonna do? The live action movies, they already had all these other stuff. What else can we do?
Right.
Aliens. There you go. That's the next thing.
Yeah. Well, the next trailer though was
SpongeBob
what's it called?
on the Run.
On the
Yeah.
thing on the run.
Yes.
Which the animation, I don't know what it is about these new SpongeBob movies. Like SpongeBob, was it Fish Out of Water or something?
Yeah.
Sponge Out of Water.
Sponge Out of Water. Yeah.
And then this one, they try so hard to change the animation style for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why they can't just stick to like 2D, the 2D animation.
But this CGI is really weird.
Yeah, no.
It's like, it reminds me that it looks like they're trying to CGI claymation.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Like, it doesn't look like claymation.
Right.
It looks like CGI and claymation.
Yeah.
You know?
It was like somebody wanted to do claymation, but didn't want to spend the time
Yeah.
to do claymation.
Yeah, let's just CGI the claymation. Yeah, let's just do that.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It looks exactly
Yeah.
like it.
Which I can't say it looks horrible, but it's just so off-putting.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I just don't really understand the reason why you wouldn't just do the 2D animation.
I will say that it looks kind of good.
Yeah,
it
writing,
looks better than the second one. I was about to say the first one.
Oh god!
You're
Whoa, there! That'd be crossing the
stepping off
line.
some controversial stuff there.
It looks better than the second one because the second one was not that great, and the second one, even from the trailer, it didn't look all that great.
Yeah.
Like I actually laughed sometimes in this new trailer.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
like,
it
it looks
seems
like
pretty
it'll be
fun.
better than the second one. Hopefully it is. It's just I don't know. I don't know why they have to CGI in the first place, let alone CGI like they do in this one. Like it's really
like you
weird.
said,
looking.
I don't know why they don't. The first SpongeBob was the 2D animation, and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, no.
The first SpongeBob is like amazing.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Yeah, and another weird thing is that I was reading that they're gonna be making like a Squidward spin-off show
Oh yeah.
on Netflix, which I have heard that Netflix is trying to combat Disney Plus by agreeing to a deal with Nickelodeon.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I read that today.
About producing new shows and movies. I hope it means that they're also going to put all their old shows
Yeah,
on
that'd
there.
be great, wouldn't
That'd
it?
be freaking awesome.
And we get Desi Classified's on Hulu, but we get all, which is weird that
Right.
Disney owns
Yeah,
Hulu.
no. And they have like Drake and Josh.
I wonder if
and
they're gonna
Desi
get rid of
Classified.
those
Yeah, I don't know.
because Disney owns Hulu, and so, but then they have Nickelodeon things on. They have some Nickelodeon,
and they have
on there.
like Danny Phantom and I was about to say My Little Pony.
I-
My
I-
Little Teenage Robot.
I feel like I wonder if Nickelodeon's gonna pull that stuff off of Hulu and put it on Netflix.
I can see it.
Yeah, if they put
I
off
hope so.
if they pull off of Hulu, I hope they put it on Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah, we can get all this stuff on it. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. But I guess the next thing we can talk about is the James Dean movie that's coming out, where they're gonna CGI James Dean.
Whenever I first read about it, I have this thing where I don't like reading articles because I feel like articles are stupid and they put way too much fluff in them. It's why I'm not going to say it because I don't want to steal my idea. I have a website idea. I really want to pull it.
Yeah. We're gonna do it one day.
Yeah, I don't like articles because I just feel like they fill up like 2 or 3 paragraphs with like nothing.
Yeah.
You know. But anyways, I had read somewhere though that like that he had asked his family.
Mm-hmm.
He had asked his family. He didn't ask his family.
The director.
He asked his family way back in the day.
Yeah.
In 2019,
Can I
if
be
a movie
CGI?
studio ever came up with the idea to do CGI, I know you don't know what CGI is, but when they create CGI, then they have this idea.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to say yes because I want you to say yes.
But like, I had read they had asked his family, and whenever I read that, I was like, okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
But then you had told me that his close family's not even alive.
Yeah,
it's
like,
people who don't even know.
He was an
him.
only child, so he doesn't have any siblings left.
Left.
Well, he never
ever.
had any. I think his mom died before he even died. And then his dad here recently passed away, or like
it was a while back.
Yeah, a few years ago. So he doesn't have any immediate family. So literally, the only family that he has are like distant relatives at best.
Right.
That didn't even know what his wishes were.
Yeah, and it's terrible, and it's just like it's just these people trying to bank off just
and
the
like,
name.
The director said that they're actually going to consider this James Dean's 4th movie that he never got
Which is
to make.
awful. Because I was talking to Brittany about this today. And it's a thing of like, I don't know if people realize this, but acting isn't just reading off a script. I think people have this weird misconception that's all it is. It's not. It's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Whenever you live life, every decision that you make when you're acting is going to be changed by things that happen in your life because they change how you make decisions, you know? And so by this time and by later on, James Dean could have acted a completely different way than they would have portrayed him.
Yeah.
So
like we talked about with Robert Downey Jr. If you look at his early work, right, I'm sure it's completely different. He went through all of his hard times and then look at where he is now. It is completely different from when he acted in Chaplin.
Like, if he never went to rehab or anything like that and he was just cast as Iron Man, it would have been a completely different performance.
Right.
You go through things in your life that change how you perform. You change how you do things. And you don't know that this is how James Dean would have portrayed it. You're just using what you've seen of him. You know?
Yeah. And it's whoever's going to interpret the CGI, it's going to be their interpretation, not James Dean reading the script, taking on the character's role and becoming that character.
Yeah. And overall, it's just disrespectful in general.
Like Chris Evans lots of celebrities tweeted out, but Chris Evans was one of the main ones that said, you know, I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, why don't we just have a computer build a new Picasso or have it write a John Lennon song? Like that, like what you're doing is just exploiting. You're just putting somebody's name on it and it's not who they were. Yeah.
And like people say like, Star Wars is doing the same thing with Carrie Fisher, but it's not the same thing. Completely different because she was signed on for this new Star Wars movie before she unexpectedly passed away. And they're not like CGIing her into the movie. So they're using old footage that wasn't used in the old movies.
Yeah.
So it's like completely different.
And Paul Walker, when he died in the middle of the Fast and Furious movie, his brother knew what his wishes were and knew that he would want to at least finish that film. Notice how on none of the other Fast and Furious after that have they ever used Paul Walker.
Exactly. It's just disrespectful in general, you know? And even movies like whenever you had, what was it? Well, that was in the end of Rogue One.
Carrie Fisher.
No, the other.
The Turkin.
I forgot.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Even that, it's not like they're like, we consider this his final Star Wars movie,
right?
The actor's final Star Wars movie, or anything like that, you know. And it's not like he even had that big of a role in it. He was just in it for like a little bit,
right?
Barely at all, you know. But in this one, I think he was like the main character.
Yeah,
you know?
He's going to be the main character. Yeah. And you know, I was also reading how people were commenting like now actors are going to have to put in their wills that they don't want to be CGI because if they don't, somewhere down the line, your distant relative could be needing cash and be like, yeah, of course they would want something like this.
Yeah, exactly.
And another thing was that a lot of people were like, if you wanted like a James Dean kind of personality, why don't you cast lookalikes? Like there's so many lookalikes out
James
there.
Franco.
and that's another big thing that irritates me. It's like people in Hollywood, directors, writers, all these people, producers, they can't realize that actors need jobs.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you're doing something like this, you're taking that chance away from another actor.
Yeah.
You know, you're along the line, you're taking a chance away from another actor who wants to be in there. You know, you're taking away, and it's never gonna be. That person may not ever get that chance. You know.
Right.
You know, and that's just kind of irritating to me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
What were you gonna say anything else about?
No, I think that's all I have to say.
Well, you're talking about Paul Walker just letting go, so you can like this transition. I guess we can talk about Walker Stalker Con.
Oh my goodness! All right, this podcast, we are no longer doing podcasts anymore just because of that transition.
Well, me and Marquez will continue. We have
Zach is fired. But the funny thing is, I can't even continue. I was in there, so.
It's kind of old news, but there's a Walking Dead convention that's in Atlanta that me and Brittany have gone to for the past few years. We didn't go last year, but we went like the previous like 3 years in a row. Then we went this year, and it's where a bunch of like the Walking Dead cast members go, and you can meet them. And it's a pretty cool thing. But this year, it was a huge disaster because of the guy who was running it. What was his name?
James Frazier.
James Frazier.
I would say James Franco.
Yeah, James Franco. James Frazier. You know more about like the different stories.
We were there all 3 days, or not Friday, but we were there Saturday and Sunday. And Saturday was the worst day, but we didn't know how bad it was. We knew it was bad because we got there and nobody was there.
Yeah, it was like almost empty. We did get there kind of late, but it wasn't even that late. It was there were still like 3 or 4 hours left.
Usually at cons, even at Walker Stalker Con, Saturdays are your biggest days.
Yeah.
Where you can barely walk around because it's so crowded.
Exactly. Especially this one.
Yeah.
Because it's like pretty much the entire cast goes to the one in Atlanta, or they used to. Yeah. We're going to talk about it a little bit, but some of the cast members have dropped out because of how badly they're treated at this con.
Exactly.
In the past.
So this all started back. I didn't know how bad it was, but apparently James Frazier stopped paying some of the actors. So the guy that plays King Ezekiel, Carrie Phaeton, had actually like said that he was dropping out. Like he never went into detail. He was just like, I'm no longer doing Walker Stalker Con. Neither is Cooper Andrews, who plays Jerry in The Walking Dead. And that they left it at that. And people were like, okay, like that's kind of weird, but that's your decision. Well, then it was found out that not only was he not paying his celebrities, he wasn't paying his vendors. His photo op, who he used for his photo op. Yeah. So this year, I forgot who they used for photo ops, but they said
it's like Frog something.
No, the old one. The old one was like, you haven't paid us this many times. We've given you chances. We're done. Yeah. So he brought in this company named Froggy, which I don't know if they've ever done a big con or if it's just small cons. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But they did not seem equipped to handle this. So I will say that Jeffrey Dean Morgan was sick Saturday, but the real issue was caused when the printers all broke. Yeah, they like couldn't work. They couldn't print off people's pictures that they have with the because at these cons there's photo ops that you can order. And they're pretty expensive. Yeah. And like you wait in line and they bring you in, you take a quick picture, like professional picture with the celebrity, then they get you out, then they print you the picture and you can take it home and all that. Right. But yeah. The printers for those pictures broke. Yeah. On Saturday, it completely broke. So they had one printer printing thousands of pictures because I mean, every celebrity has their own photo op and like hundreds of them sell. For that one celebrity. So there's like mass chaos. Nobody's answering anybody's questions. And I don't know how many people have been to cons, but they usually use volunteers. Right. So it was just volunteers that were at the face of what's this chaos. And like, there's no lines. Yeah. There's no times when celebrities are all confused. And then at the end of the con ends at 7 that day? Yeah, on Saturday. And we were there. We saw this mob, but we didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, it was a few minutes before it closed.
Yeah. They, a volunteer, nobody from Walker Stalker Con who gets paid comes out and makes this announcement. Or James Frazier himself comes out. They have a volunteer get on a chair and say, Froggy, the photo op company, has left.
Yeah, they just up and left, which... I wish I was taking a picture because we didn't know what was going on until later when we were reading the stuff on Twitter and all that. Yeah. But like, there was like a huge mob around this one volunteer. Yeah. And like we could hear people say, I forgot what they were chanting. Yeah. But they're chanting something, and like you just see this poor volunteer standing up there, and you know she's a volunteer because she's wearing a volunteer shirt. Yeah. But yeah, it was just mass chaos.
Yeah. So there was that going on. But I think the worst thing was how they treated one of the celebrities that's in Walking Dead. And she's hard of hearing. I don't think she's completely deaf. But she was there at the con, and she has a what are they called? The dogs. Service animals. And she had taken her hearing aid out because it was really loud. And she was playing with the dog, and a security guard, granted, the security guard didn't know. The security guard worked for the convention center and didn't know. And like yells at her, but she can't hear. People are explaining like she's hard of hearing, she can't hear you. And it was like this whole thing. James Frazier comes over, does nothing to kind of calm down the situation. You're making me nervous. Oh, keep looking up.
I think it's the yellow jacket.
She finally figures out what's going on, grabs her dog, goes over, and is just really upset by this whole situation. And the thing that made her the most mad is that she wasn't provided any, because she has a disability. And in the past, if you had a disability, they would make sure that there was some kind of accommodation.
Right.
There was no accommodation for her. She had to get her own interpreter. She had to make her like her own accommodations basically, which is against the law.
Yeah.
So she gets an apology from the security guard. She even says, "Don't be mad at the security guard. He's formally apologized. He didn't know the situation." James Frazier basically just makes like a, "I'm sorry, but I can't cater to everybody's disability."
Right.
Basically was his apology.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I can't even imagine that many celebrities that were at the convention had disabilities that he had to take care of.
Yeah. And then there was a lady that was kicked out because she had a platinum and given no reason.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because wasn't there like a girl that said like she was rude to her, so
what
she
was that
was
girl's
security?
name?
Yeah, what's
April Turner?
Yeah.
I know her first name is for sure April.
Yeah, this girl, or the girl that got kicked out because of April, she paid for like $1,000 tickets.
Yeah.
To be there, and the security people kicked her out, and she kept like saying, "Tell me why."
Yeah.
There's even a video her daughter like started recording when they were kicking her out, and like she kept saying, "Tell me why," and the security guard never said why.
You know that April Turner girl is like really famous for causing trouble at Walker Stalker Con.
Exactly. Yeah. So she's known, and like still there was witnesses that she was not allowed back in the con.
Right. And then there's what?
Oh, and I was gonna say James Frazier did nothing about that situation.
Right. Then there was another story on Twitter that we read that night about some girl came from France to this convention. She came all the way from Paris, France, and she got there as soon as the door was open. Or I think she had like a platinum ticket, which is like one of the most expensive tickets that you can buy there. Mm-hmm. And she got in line in Norman Reedus' line, who plays Daryl on The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. And she was waiting there for like an hour or something for him to get there. Mm-hmm. And James Frazier himself came and told her that it was only for some other tickets and that she had to get out of the line and that she could come back later. So she did. And she had to wait like 5 or 6 more hours.
Yeah.
Even though she had like one of the most expensive tickets.
Yeah.
We have a yellow jacket right here.
Oh, that's fun.
That's fine.
I like how you hold your hands like this is gonna stop the yellow jacket.
We're gonna fight.
Put them up, yellow jacket.
And then the lunch that they served.
Yeah, it was basically like the Fire Festival lunch. Like they're usually used to like a hot meal and everything.
Yeah, because they're expensive tickets. Yeah, they're like $1,000 tickets.
Yeah, but literally they got like a sandwich, chips, and water.
Yeah.
So it was mass chaos the whole time. But it didn't stop.
Is it close to you? You want to just hit it with that spray? Sorry, we have a yellow jacket right here. Or Brittany, do you want to hand him that? Oh, it doesn't matter. Hopefully it doesn't start flying around or anything like that. Just get him real right. Did you get him? You fall? Cool. All right. Nice. Sorry, we had a yellow jacket right here. We just want to make sure we kill him.
Yeah, but the chaos didn't stop after that. Apparently, like, celebrities were getting their checks. If they got checks, the checks were bouncing. Some didn't even get checks. Some, I didn't even mention this, some had to pay for their flight in if they even came, which normally at cons, the flight's paid for.
Oh, yeah, like some celebrities canceled because they didn't have anywhere
like last minute, like extremely last minute because
they didn't pay for
flights
tickets to get there.
Paid for. So it's just chaos. James Frazier actually stepped down and a new CEO took over.
Yeah, like a week
afterwards
after.
Because people were like, this is ridiculous. People weren't getting refunds for their photo ops that they never got. James Frazier stepped down. A new CEO took over and was like, we're going to make change, blah, blah, blah. That's when Carrie Payton came back again and was like, look, the reason why we weren't going to show up and we were done with Walker Stalker Con is because we were never paid. Now all of these celebrities from Walker Stalker Con are now going to boycott. And without like, and they started doing ticket sales for next year's Atlanta Walker Stalker Con. And
you think they'd wait a little bit to let the whole fire calm down.
Yeah. So there was outrage.
Which also on Saturday of the con, when we're reading through all the posts and all that, like the Walker Stalker official Facebook page was deleting posts.
Yeah.
Because they were like being flooded by negative comments by people like complaining.
Yeah.
Because like people on Saturday, some people waited. I don't know if you mentioned this, but some people waited till midnight to finally get their picture.
Yeah, if they got their
the con
picture.
ended at 7, and they waited. Some people waited till midnight. like you said, even if they even got.
But some people had flights that were leaving that night, so didn't have the time to wait, and so and they still haven't received their photo op or their money back.
Yeah. And
so, like, this new CEO took over, lasted a week, and then he tweeted out that he was leaving Walker Stalker Con. So I don't know what the future of Walker Stalker Con is. I loved it when we used to go. I'm sad that it's gone so downhill since
Especially
then.
since there's a haunted house near Atlanta where the convention is that is known as one of the best haunted houses in the nation.
I know that you only got to go
Yeah, I got to go once. It was great, though.
It's called Netherworld, but y'all should all go. But yeah, we can talk about our next topic. We're running
but I think we have one more thing to talk about, right?
Yeah.
YouTube,
yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just talk about this real fast. Hopefully real fast. We don't have a lot of time. So if anybody knows the YouTuber Markiplier, I'm not a big fan of him. Well, it's not like I don't like him. I just not like a huge fan. I don't watch his things all the time. But he popped up my YouTube for some
recommended,
reason. On my YouTube. He popped up on my YouTube.
On my YouTube.
So like an old person just
okay, boomer.
Whoa, that's a negative term.
Like, remember they said it's like the N-word for old people. That's what people have been saying.
Yeah, no, right? So does that mean a millennial is also ageist slur? No, yeah, right.
No. You can call us millennial. Apparently they can say millennials. But so let's just say this real fast. Markiplier had a live stream apparently. And by the way, if you don't know anything about YouTube, even though we're on here, we just like and we do it for fun. YouTube itself is very messed up. It has a very messed up system that really needs to be fixed badly.
Right.
But Markiplier has YouTube. I think it's YouTube Red, or he has something. He has something to where it was a live stream, where it's like a pick your own adventure kind of thing, And he told people in the live chat to say. To put a red emote, he called them emotes, but I don't know if that's, but he like a red emote or a green emote, to decide what he did, and people were putting them on there, and sometimes they put like a whole string of them, like a whole bunch of the same emote over and over again, just for it, and that was the whole point of it. So YouTube decided, I guess they took it as spamming, even though it was what he asked them to do. And he suspended a whole bunch of Google accounts.
Well, YouTube did.
Yeah. Well,
you said he did.
Oh, sorry, he did, not him. Sorry, he didn't do it. Sorry. Yeah, so YouTube, they suspended a whole bunch of Google accounts. YouTube did. And whenever I say Google accounts, I mean Google accounts.
Yeah, not just their YouTube accounts.
Yeah, they didn't suspend their YouTube channel. They suspended their entire Google account.
Yeah, like
their
Gmail.
Email, their Drive, all their entire Google account. So that means that like if someone had like a job, and they use that email for that job, they can't use that email anymore.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if they've got it fixed by now, but either way, it shouldn't have happened. And if it happened, maybe a little bit, but it definitely, I think Markiplier did the video 2 days afterwards because he said, I gave YouTube 2 days to sort it out, and they never did. And in fact, not only did they sort it out, they were just coming up with stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Like when people were on Twitter about it, like on tweeting.
Oh, yeah.
Because I guess a lot of people were trying to appeal it, the banning, and people kept getting their appeal rejected over and over again. And so whenever some of his mods said something on Twitter, he said the YouTube kept saying, what did they say? They said our appeal process is very
carefully reviewed.
If it was rejected, then there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, there's nothing.
But the thing is, it's obviously not carefully reviewed.
Yeah, no,
because if it was as carefully reviewed as they said it was, it would have gotten appeal. The appeal would have gotten accepted right there.
Right. Yeah. Because they would have realized it was like they were suspended for a damn reason.
Yeah, they're suspended for no reason whatsoever. Not only that, but there was one person. Well, it might have been several, but there was one person who said something about it, where they got appealed. They got suspended. Then they appealed it. Their appeal was accepted, and they got reinstated. And then like 30 minutes later, their account got banned again. Yeah. 30 minutes later,
like resuspended,
like for no reason. Like and you're not given any reasons. You just say your account's suspended.
Yeah.
And YouTube's been like this for a long time, unfortunately. I mean, our channel's so little. I mean, whenever we get like copyright claims, we don't really care about them because like we're not making money in the first place,
Right.
But if we were, and there's some people who are,
yeah.
The big problem is is if you don't know anything about this, there's something called fair use. And fair use basically says that you can put copyright material in your YouTube videos just as long as it has to do with parody, criticism, and like I think like education or something like that.
Right.
A whole bunch of stuff. But like whenever you see those videos where it's just like a whole bunch of clips next to each other or just something like that, that's not allowed. But if it's like what I said, it's allowed. Mm-hmm. And so YouTube does this whole thing like that. And so people get a whole bunch of copyright claims for using fair use, which is completely legal. Like we've done it a few times where we put little clips of videos and it's completely legal. We get claims. Mm-hmm. Some people actually get full on what are they called? Strikes. And strikes do something bad. They do stuff to your channel.
Yeah, they limit your capabilities.
Yeah, they limit your capabilities. Claims don't, but strikes do.
Yeah, which I understand YouTube is gigantic, so they can't like have a manual team looking through everything that's on YouTube.
Yeah.
So there has to be some automation process.
Yeah.
A little bit there. But I feel like YouTube gets really extremely lazy.
Yeah,
with their process of doing different things, especially like taking down people's channels and doing these suspensions and all that.
Yeah, and there was that whole thing whenever they got rid of people's comment sections of their YouTube channels had children in them, like that one special books for special kids or something, whatever. Whenever they have like people with kids with different disorders,
right?
Their comment section is gone, and their comment section is a very large part of their channel.
Yeah,
to give support to these kids and positivity to these kids,
right?
Well, and I also feel that YouTube has always hurt the small YouTube channels.
Yeah, well, like, they hurt all channels, but smaller YouTube channels will get it bad because they don't get any publicity whenever something bad happens to their channel. Yeah. Usually, whenever a big channel gets a strike, then it's heard. Yeah. Whenever a smaller channel gets a strike, nothing's gonna happen. You can't get nothing about it. Yeah. And it's stupid. It really is.
And I feel like there should be a team for issues like this. Like you said, they can't scan every video. That take way too much manpower. But you can have somebody with these claims, or have somebody redesign the algorithm so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen. But they're so lazy with it.
Or like you can get rid of YouTube Rewind and use the money used on YouTube Rewind every year and switch that budget over to actually hiring people.
Exactly.
Instead of not having instead of not only using automated processes.
Yeah, because like YouTube Rewind, like we were just talking about earlier tonight, like they have like major YouTube stars on there.
Celebrities.
Yeah, celebrities. They have Will Smith. Will Smith probably cost like a whole bunch to be on there. They have like a whole production design, special effects, all this, and we were talking about that. It has to add up to like millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars, yeah.
For
the
YouTube Rewinds.
Yeah, Will Smith's a huge actor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, like,
and they're not even that good. I mean, it'd still be a stretch to have them if they're good. Yeah, but they're not even good.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why they do it. I mean, even big channels get their hits, because whenever, like, let's say a YouTube video from a big channel gets acclaim, all the money that was made from that YouTube video in the amount of time that the claim's on the video goes straight to the company that made the claim.
Yeah. And
the worst thing is it's usually done within the first few days of the video whenever they have the most traffic. So usually big YouTubers don't even mess with claims because it's kind of just pointless, because you get a whole bunch of them after a while. And then you have the whole idea of TikTok, and I don't know, maybe we'll get claimed because of this, because TikTok's really bad about it. TikTok will claim your videos left and right, and at the end of the day, they do the same. They're even worse because they steal. Their stuff is completely stolen content. It's not fair use; it's stolen content.
Yeah, and it's funny. Cody Ko has a pretty funny video about where he was bashing TikTok.
Yeah, and
then like he like made like a bunch of like TikTok like videos like to make fun of the app. Yeah. But then TikTok used his videos that he made on their app in their advertisements.
Oh yeah,
Without
that video is pretty funny.
So.
That's pretty great. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. I wish YouTube would figure out something. Hopefully they do. I don't know if they will.
Probably not.
Yeah, because it's just a whole bunch of automated processes, and I think YouTube knows by now that it doesn't. They're the only big video company.
Yeah.
You have stuff like maybe MetaCafe and Dailymotion, but they're definitely not going to get the amount of YouTube channels, YouTube videos, the amount of traffic. And I think YouTube knows that. Mm-hmm. But hopefully there's going to be a day where every YouTuber figures it out, and maybe moves to a new platform. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I would move to a new platform if everyone else was doing it. But if I move to one, I'm already small on a big platform.
Right.
Where am I going to be at a little platform?
Yeah.
So, I mean, so hopefully we'll figure it out. Anyways, guys, I think that's all we have to talk about today.
Yep.
I'm really hoping we can start being a little more regular. Like I said, things keep happening. We are
graduating, so that'll free up a lot.
Yeah, we are graduating, so we're gonna have some more free time.
I'm graduating on the Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's just kind of a special thing.
Yeah, and I'll be graduating the day after him. Not a special, but, so just so you know. But I don't know.
Saturday 14th.
Yeah, if you want to hop on over there and tell me congratulations.
But no, because it's 8 a.m. So
yeah,
I
graduate 8 a.m.
Yeah, mine's at noon, so it's a little easier to follow.
But yeah, guys, we'll try to be more consistent on here. Like we said, we're sorry. It's just things keep happening. We're either sick or other stuff goes on in our lives, but we're better. And that thing that was in our lives is gone. It still has a little bit part of our lives, but barely any.
Horrible Parasite.
Yeah. So hopefully, So hopefully,
which Parasite's another movie.
Parasite. We didn't talk about that. Watch Parasite. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a foreign movie. So
it's great to read.
We didn't talk about it. We have a video on our YouTube channel, Two Awesome Men, and we go over Parasite. We've been over a few movies, and there's been a lot of good movies this year.
Go see Parasite, Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, Jojo Rabbit does not make light of the Holocaust. It's a very
we saw
good
Ford
movie.
B Ferrari too. So that was surprising. I surprisingly enjoyed that.
Yeah, so go watch those. Go on our YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description below to some of that stuff. Anyways, thank you so much for watching or listening, and you will hear or see us hopefully in a week or two. Hopefully that happens. Thank you.